habits. And it's such a good habit to develop with the whole family exercising together. That's such an important thing to do, whether it's going on a walk together, going on a bike ride together, doing karate class together, anything like that. If you guys can come up with a routine and something that you regularly do. And right now is such a good time to do that because a lot of us are, kind of around our family and not a whole lot of other people, or, we're not getting out a lot, or we're having to make more of an effort to get out. And we're a lot of times doing it together with our family. So try to get your whole family together tonight for that kickboxing class. That's at 7 p.m. It is on our normal classroom code. He is doing a Cinco de Mayo themed class, which is fun. So Master Martinez is Puerto Rican. And so we actually did one of his kickboxing classes. Miss Katie Master Lappin and I did one of his classes last week because it's such a good workout. And he plays a lot of Mexican music, and it's going to be really festive and fun for Cinco de Mayo. So it's also Taco Tuesday for everyone who's having tacos tonight. So whatever you guys are doing for your Cinco de Mayo dinner, but hopefully you get a good workout in before or after you eat all those tacos or whatever you're going to have. We're going to have tacos and guacamole and all of that fun stuff. Okay. Oh my goodness, Stella, I've got to show you. She has so much fun with these backgrounds, and I have fun checking out her backgrounds every day. I thought about doing this, and now she's like on a beach in Mexico, ready for Cinco de Mayo. I love it. I love it. Okay. So as far as announcements go, our biggest thing is that we have our promotion parade this Saturday. It's going to be so much fun, you guys. I know this is kind of a weird thing. We normally do our promotion party, and that party is so much fun, and it's so memorable. I know I still remember promotion parties from when I was a GUP student, which was a long time ago, but they're fun. It's a good time to hang out with your friends and celebrate each other and watch each other get your promotions, and your family's there supporting you. Sometimes you bring friends there to support you. So promotion parties are fun. Can't do a promotion party, obviously, because we normally have over 200 people at each promotion party. So the promotion parade, though, this is probably the only time we'll ever get to do this. And the only time that you'll ever get to ask one of your family members to tie on your belt for you. So we're going to make it really special, really fun. I know I've talked about it a lot, but I'm going to kind of explain it again. I think I might post a little video or something tomorrow of exactly how we're going to do it. But basically everyone will drive in. Our parking lot's going to be one-way traffic. So you'll come in from Long Bay and out on Blanding. Every belt rank has a different time frame to be there. So technically the promotion parade is from 12:30 to 2:30. So from 12:30 to 1, Tigers and Dragons come through to get your belt. So raise your hand if you're a Tiger or Dragon and you're going to come through to get your belt. Good. So your time is 12:30 to 1 p.m. Now put your hands down. Of our GUP students, white and orange belts are from 1 to 1:30. So raise your hand if you're in that group, getting your belt between 1 and 1:30. Good. Okay. Now, green and brown belts. Raise your hand if you tested your green and brown belt. That is 1:30 to 2. I couldn't remember what time frame I was on. So between 1:30 and 2, you guys come in and get your belts. Red belts and above 2 to 2:30. So raise your hand if you're a red belt or above 2 to 2:30. We are going to do a Facebook Live the entire time. So watch the other people getting their promotions. You can comment and say, yay, good job, Connor, good job, whoever. So watch the Facebook Live before and after your time frame. If you have families at different belt levels, you pick whichever time and you guys will all get your belts then. If for whatever reason you need to come a little early or a little late, that's fine. 12:30 to 2:30 is a time frame. So if you miss your time frame, still come between the other ones. But we are asking everybody to come in those time frames just so we have a steady amount of people throughout the day instead of 100 people coming through right at 1 o'clock and then nobody at 2. So that way everyone isn't waiting for too long and stuff. But we do have some fun things that we're going to do to celebrate it. Of course, we do have to practice social distancing and that kind of stuff. So we do ask that the rest of the family stays in the car. Only the student gets out and grabs their bag, which is going to have your belt, your awards, all that kind of stuff in it. The instructors will be there to congratulate you and make a big deal about it. And then when you guys get home, everyone getting promoted, you get to ask a family member or a friend to tie your belt on. So pick somebody that will make it really special, that you want to tie on your belt. And then if you guys post a video of you getting your belt tied on at home, you are going to get a star. Now we have 2 contests going on during this promotion parade too, because we're martial artists and we're competitive and we like contests, or at least I know I do. So with the getting promotions, getting the promotion videos, if you post the video of you getting promoted to your Facebook status, which is a lot of you guys, that'll be your parents' Facebook status. So on their page, that way your cousins, your grandparents, your friends, everyone on your Facebook page will get to see it and celebrate you getting your belt. And then check in at Middleburg Martial Arts or share it to the Middleburg Martial Arts page so you get that star. Now, whoever promotes, just like an instructor would, saying how proud you are of that person and how hard they've worked and all that kind of stuff, one person, whoever's the most, promotes the most like Master Lappin would, is going to get a gift card to a local restaurant. The other contest we have is a car decorating contest. So during the promotion parade, you guys are encouraged, not required to, of course, but you're encouraged to decorate your car just to make it fun and make it exciting. And then we are going to have a contest for the most creative. So the best decorated car is going to earn a gift card, another gift card to a local restaurant. So that's going to be really fun. I'm excited for that. Any questions about the promotion parade? Good. Then maybe I've done a good job explaining it. So hopefully we'll have any issues. All right. Any questions about the kickboxing class tonight? Yes, it's going to be super fun. Yes, you want your whole family on there. Yes, it's going to be a good workout. Mackenzie?
I just wanted to say, it's not about the kickboxing. I just wanted to say that 10 years ago, today was supposed to be my birthday, but I was an early baby.
Oh, this is your due date. That's cool. Yeah. All right. So for the kickboxing class, it is at 7 p.m. and it is on the normal class code. So you just get on like you do normal class and we'll be on there. Miss Nicole?
Is it okay if I happen to be late? I have a private lesson at 7. So
Yeah.
15.
Guys, if you hop on, if you're only able to do half of it, if you hop on late or you have to leave early, that's okay. Of course, I'd rather you do the whole thing. And for Master Martinez, the respect and stuff like that, we want to start and end, but he'll absolutely understand. I would much rather you get on for 45 minutes of it or whatever, get on a few minutes late or get off a few minutes early than miss the whole thing. So I'm excited. I know he's pretty excited about teaching it. So that'll be fun. Any other questions about the kickboxing class? Who did his kickboxing class? Raise your hand if you did his kickboxing class last year when he came to the studio or you've ever done it. I know he did one at Black Belt Camp last year. A lot of times he teaches that. Yeah, it's a fun class, isn't it? Yeah, good. Okay, so that's pretty much the big thing. Oh, this Friday, Miss Katie and I will be getting on Facebook Live at 3 p.m. to do a Mother's Day craft with you guys. So Sunday is Mother's Day. Make sure you do something nice for your mom. And a good way to do that is to make that craft with us. So get on Facebook Live with us at 3 o'clock on Friday. All you'll need is some different colored paper or white paper, and you can color it. A marker, scissors, glue, and I think that's it. So pretty easy as far as the supplies go, and it's going to be fun. So we'll see you guys there. That's it as far as what's going on this week, I think. I don't think I'm missing anything. We are starting new curriculum. So do not, I know you guys just tested. Now is not the time to be like, I'm going to miss a week of karate classes because I just tested. No, it's the best thing that you can do to make sure that you are ready to test next time is learn the curriculum early. I know it's a big pet peeve of mine when we see students who slack off the first half of testing. They miss their classes. They don't practice the material. And then the week or two right before testing, they all of a sudden come in for a bunch of classes and want to be tested. That should not happen. When we start pre-testing, you guys should know your stuff and you should be ready. And there's no reason for it other than you're slacking. And that's not a habit you want to use. We're talking about healthy habits. We create habits that we carry on the rest of our lives with us in every area. So if you start procrastinating and slacking in karate, That's going to go everywhere else in your life. That's going to go to school. That's going to go to work. That's going to go to your leadership. That's going to go to you keeping a clean house. All of those things. Do not be lazy. So make sure that you guys are being proactive. You're on your classes. You're practicing. You're working hard now. That way you can relax later. And you see the people who do that, and you know what happens? Their technique does not get better. So what happens is every time it's testing time, they end up skating by. They just barely get ready to test. And if you got your purple stripe the week before the test, that's probably you. Now, it might not have been. It might have been a scheduling thing or something like that, or an instructor didn't get to watch you. But if you were watched and you did not get your purple stripe until the week of testing, then you probably were slacking off in the beginning. So make sure you're not doing that now. If you missed class yesterday, you're already starting this quarter off slacking. So let's stop that pattern. Make sure you're in classes this week. And you start practicing and working hard now. Because if you learn the curriculum early, then you can spend the rest of this quarter perfecting it and making it look good. Because you know what? When you get up to blue belt and junior black belt, and even red and blue, it gets really strict with your technique. We have a lot of people, we'll look at them and we're like, they know all their stuff, but they do not look like a blue belt, so they can't test. And that starts at green belt. You start slacking then, and we have some red and brown belts, red belts who have done that. They've been slacking, and they're going to start missing tests and tests and tests, and it's going to take them a while. That happens a lot with the younger kids. But so just make sure you guys are right now practicing, working hard. The curriculum videos are up. So I know I've already had some people who are looking at the curriculum videos. They were in classes. They're already getting to know their curriculum. That way we can work with them on their stances and their technique and making sure it looks good. And those guys, you see those guys, Caleb just tested for his blue belt, looked awesome. Do you know why his technique is so good at the blue belt level? Because when he was a green belt, he worked really hard in the beginning, and then he knew all of his stuff quickly, and then we were able to work on his technique with him. And that's what I want everyone to do. And a lot of you guys did that this cycle. I know Harley and Corbin, Rihanna, Emily, a lot of you guys, I can't name everybody, but like Hannah, Luca, the ones I'm seeing on here right now, a lot of you guys got your purple stripes right away as soon as we started pre-testing because you were working hard early. And so I want to say good job to you guys and to make sure that everybody does that for this cycle. So get on your classes. Do not miss classes now. Be ready ahead of time. Be prepared. Act like a black belt. Be productive. Make sure that you guys are practicing outside of karate classes. You guys maybe have a partner in there you can work with. Maybe you have, you're doing a private lesson or group private lesson. Maybe you guys are watching the curriculum videos. Whatever you're doing, start working now to be ready for testing. It's not the week before testing. Okay. I think that I am pretty good with announcements, all of that kind of stuff. So we have a guest speaker today that you guys all know and love. Miss Katie is going to talk with us today a little bit about her journey through martial arts, what martial arts has done for her. I am so proud of Miss Katie. I will let her tell you a little bit more about it because I know I'll say it wrong, but I'm going to try and then she'll correct me. Miss Katie has now had like 8 or 9 heart surgeries. 10 heart surgeries. Yeah, you've had a few just in the past year.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Miss Katie has had 10 heart surgeries. I don't know if you guys, that's a big deal. Who in here wants to have a heart surgery? I don't. And she's had 10 of them. So that's something that's a big thing to overcome. She's been told by several doctors that she's not allowed to do karate. She's gone through periods, even getting ready for her black belt test when she was at that point, ready for black belt testing. I remember her getting a clear from her doctor saying, yeah, you can spar, you can do everything. And then like 3 weeks later, seeing another doctor, maybe the same doctor, and him being like, no contact. You are not allowed to fall. You are not allowed to she got a pacemaker put in, 6 months before your black belt test? Was it even 6 months before your black belt? 2 months before her black belt test, had a pacemaker put in her chest, and she still tested for her black belt. So the next time that you're like, oh, my finger hurts, or you're on a test and you get kicked, there's no excuses. I know there's someone who was very, very special to me, and she used to always say, suck it up, buttercup. And she was like the epitome of never letting physical ailments slow her down, right? And so when you had a sprained ankle and you were complaining, suck it up, Buttercup, keep going. You can keep going. And that's what black belt tests, you see people get injured. I've seen people get really bad sprains. They get really bad bruises, knots, break bones on their black belt test, and you see them try to continue. Now, there's certain things, a broken bone, things like that, they cannot. Some people do. I've seen people continue after breaking a bone in their hand or their foot, little things like that. Maybe you can continue on. But a lot, I've seen some bad ones, and people try to continue because that's what being a black belt is. It's that perseverance, the discipline, that attitude of never giving up. And so when I see some of you guys in karate class and you stub your toe and say, I can't do class because I stubbed my toe, who thinks that's acceptable? No, it's not. It really isn't. So having that discipline, that perseverance is so crazy important for the rest of your life. Who wants to be that type of person? When you're an adult, most of us know somebody that no matter how hurt they are, how sick they are, how whatever they are, they have a good attitude and they're out there trying and they're doing everything they need to do. And that's how you stay active and stay healthy. I know who was telling me this recently about Grandmaster. Oh, Mr. Gourlay on our very first guest speaker, Matt Chat. He was talking about how he had a conversation with Grandmaster Strong, who is, I'm not sure how old he is. He's in his 80s, but he asked him how he's still able to train at that age. And his answer was, and I'm going to butcher this, but you can go back and rewatch that video if you want to. His answer was something along the lines of, I could get up, I could lay in bed all day and I'm going to hurt. I'm old, I'm going to hurt. If I'm laying in bed all day, I'm going to hurt. So why not do karate and hurt a little bit, but then feel good afterwards? Okay. So, and I think that's strong everywhere. There's a Master Lap, and everyone knows she has horses. She boards her horses at this lady's house who is, I don't even know how old the lady is, but she's again, at least in her 80s, at least. But she is out there doing yard work, taking care of her garden. She's still driving, all of these things. And you know what it is? It's her mindset. It's her programming, her wiring, and her attitude. And Katie is an example of exactly that. She's one of those people, no matter if she's sick, no matter if her chest is hurting, no matter what's going on, she still has a positive attitude. She's still leading by example. She is persevering. She is disciplined, and she got to her black belt. It took her 13 years to get to her black belt, but she got to her black belt. Thank you, Miss Katie, for coming on here. I say coming on here, but she's been on like every single Matt Chat anyways. But for you getting in front of everybody and talking with us, I really appreciate that.
No problem.
So, Miss Katie, why don't you tell me a little bit about who you were when you started karate and then who you were once you got your black belt?
When I started karate, I was like super shy. The reason I had started karate, I was 12 years old and I was at my bus stop by myself. My dad had to work super early and my mom had to work super early. So I was at my bus stop all alone and in the 6th grade, and this man pulls up in this car. I have no idea who he is. And he goes to get out of his car. And it was scary because I didn't know who he was, what he was doing. And it ended up on the news because after he had left my bus stop because some cars were coming, so he jumped back in his car and left, he had actually kidnapped another little girl. So my dad was fearful for that, and so was my mom. So they had looked for a karate studio, and that's when we happened to find Middleburg Martial Arts. And we had just been open for like 6 months, I think. The studio had been open. So, and now from being that shy, like person, wanted to be by myself in my room or just playing outside by myself, now I'm teaching classes and comfortably teaching classes. I came back 2 years ago in June, and now I teach from ages 3 until our oldest student, and I'm pretty comfortable doing that.
Yeah, she's an awesome instructor. Actually, she is the only person that I think we have ever let as a blue belt teach a class on her own. So that says something too about Miss Katie. I am going to let you guys ask her some questions. I know you know Miss Katie, love Miss Katie, and probably want to ask her a lot about her journey. So we'll ask questions at the very end. We're going to ask her a couple. I'm going to ask her a couple first. So Miss Katie obviously now is still currently training with us. She's still teaching with us. She is in our leadership club. She is obviously still active in our leadership program. So I'm going to ask you kind of the same questions. How did the leadership training, the black belt leadership training at Middleburg Martial Arts, because you did train when you were younger, how did that help you while you were in school?
It definitely helped me keep persevering through school, no matter how hard school was, just remembering that I can do this, and just setting that example, not going to play with my friends or going out and sneaking out of the house at a teenager level, because I knew I had those responsibilities and those leadership qualities to not be a follower, but to be that leader and that example to my friends that it's not okay to do those kind of things. And would you rather be spending time having fun or being grounded because of those choices that you made?
Good, good. Yeah, and sometimes just a matter of understanding that your actions have consequences, taking that personal responsibility, being responsible for your own actions and knowing that, you know, I'm in control of the situation. And a lot of teenagers don't have that. They don't. That's something that that a lot of people learn in adulthood because they've had to. They've had so many consequences. So that's a strong thing to learn before you're at that point. Okay, how did the black belt leadership training at Middleburg Martial Arts help you when you were out of school?
Like I said, it made me make the right decisions in life to continue on a path of doing the right things, not following my brother's footsteps. You know, he's not a great example in life, but you know, doing the opposite of him. And I thank Master Lappin for teaching me those things, to be that leader and not follow in people's bad decisions.
Absolutely. Yeah, helping set your morals and your
Mhm.
boundaries and your goals is very big. All right, what would you say is the most important thing that you benefited from our black belt leadership training?
Um, my confidence and being able to publicly speak to people. Like I said before, when I was just started, I was shy. I didn't talk to anybody. Um, and I would just stand in the corner and just try to hide, not stick out in class and things like that. So definitely the confidence and like to be able to public speak and teach all of my students now.
Yeah, I remember when you first started teaching. I remember you were so nervous to teach a class on your own. You were so nervous. But you did it and you were like, okay, I'll do it. And even for a little while, teaching, you know, made you nervous. And if we ever asked you to teach a different class, you were like, but wait, those aren't the same ones. And stepping out of that comfort zone, that's a big step that I don't know if you've had that anywhere other than martial arts, somewhere constantly
No.
pushing you out of that comfort zone. But now I know that I could have you teach any group. If I asked you at black belt camp to teach something, you'd be like, all
Oh,
right, let's do it. And you might get a little bit nervous, but you're so used to stepping out of your comfort zone and taking on that leadership role. And you're so good at it. And it's natural now.
thank you.
So what would you say you've learned from teaching?
Um, that I can do things that I didn't think I could, like lead a whole class of like my after school kids. There's a bunch of them, and teaching 30 to 35 of them at a time and keeping that class focused and disciplined and on track for their black belt. So just, I don't know, feeling comfortable in a pressured situation, because teaching class, you know, all of these kids are wanting to learn from you, and you have to set that example. You have to be on point and be ready so that they're not slacking off, they're not learning their material incorrectly and things like that. You're muted.
There's so much responsibility that comes with teaching. So having that, being responsible for other people is a big task. And yeah, if you ever want to lead or manage any group, you're doing that, right? You're responsible for other people. So having that practice and learning how to do that in the karate school is awesome. Master Lappin and I actually were talking this morning about who some of our upcoming teachers are, because that's how the martial arts cycle works, right? People, when they graduate and they move out of our program, a lot of them are going out of the area for college. And now we're so lucky, we have a few that go to University of North Florida and are close enough, like Miss Maya, to train with us. But that's not, or Mr. AJ, who can visit and stuff like that. But that's not most students. There's a lot of different college options, so not everybody gets to stay local. But so that's what happens. People grow, they move out of the area, they're not able to teach anymore, and the upcoming students come in and teach. And we have some of those guys on this call that we were talking about being future teachers. And so I kind of wanted you to share that to give them a little bit of insight. So if you're getting up in the ranks, or you're getting close to 14 years old and you're interested in teaching at Middleburg Martial Arts, make sure you start putting yourself in some of those situations. Make sure that you're completing all the CIT requirements, that you are one of the role models in our CIT program. So that way, when you are at a point, I started teaching my first classes when I was 12 years old. I was 12 years old. I remember teaching adult classes. I remember teaching every ranked classes at 12 years old. So if you have enough discipline and focus and are showing that you can have that responsibility, then you might be able to. So just make sure that you guys, and that's true for every area of your life, taking that initiative, being proactive, having that sense. I was talking to someone about this recently, that leadership, taking on like a leadership role, a lot of times is not you being given that role and then you start being a leader. It's you start showing the leadership qualities and then somebody gives you that role, And so that's one of the things. Miss Katie was a good example of that. When she came back and she was training and she got her blue belt, and she took on a lot of leadership. It was obvious to us that she was an instructor before she was ever teaching a class on her own. She was an instructor. And that's why she was able to start teaching at blue belt level. All right. My last question for you. What would you tell a student or a parent who is considering making that commitment to black belt leadership training?
Do it, please. It's one of the best things that you can do for your child. And, making that commitment to black belt and testing for your black belt. I still remember every single moment of that black belt test, that feeling of lining up, bowing in with everybody around the region. And it was the best feeling in the world. And then finally being done with that test and having that feeling of accomplishment, that goal that you met. So being in a leadership program will do wonders for yourself or for your children. Just do it.
You're muted, Master Luton.
Oh my gosh. I keep muting myself. I said, thank you very much, Katie, for talking with us. And then Master Lappin, did you want to say anything before I open this up for questions?
I'm going to unmute myself. Yeah, Katie, I just want to say, a lot of times you're around all the time and we just kind of take you for granted, but you are really an incredible warrior and martial artist and inspiration, not just to our children and our students, but to everybody, to me as well. I don't know if you talked at all about, her heart condition or anything, but
yes, ma'am.
All that, I came in late and I'm sorry, but you just really are an inspiration. And I really appreciate that you're here, and I appreciate the love and the care that you give each and every one of our students. So thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for Miss Katie? If you've ever wanted to know something about her training, now is the time to ask. Mackenzie, what's your question?
I have two statements and a question, if that's okay. My question is, how old were you when you got your black belt?
I was 28 years old. So April 26th of 2019 is when I got my black belt, and I was 28 after not practicing for 14 years and just coming back and retraining. So 28, Miss Mackenzie.
And
And
if any of you guys missed her first degree test, you will be able to watch her take her second degree test
In a year.
soon, in a year, right? What is your April of 20?
April 2021.
Connor, what's your question? Oh, Mackenzie, did you have another one?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes.
she did.
Okay, go ahead, Mackenzie.
my first statement is my autism cousin, he's 21 and he's had over 20 heart surgeries.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And my second statement is I just wanted to say thank you for teaching me.
You're very welcome, Miss Mackenzie.
All right, Connor, did you have a question?
I would like to say thank you for teaching all of us, Miss Katie. And I might not be at the promotion parade
Oh, no.
because I'm going on a boat.
Oh, that'll be fun too, though. Okay, Caleb, you have a question?
I have a comment for 2021 April. I might be testing with Miss Katie.
Ooh, so you guys will be the same black belt class. That's awesome. Who else? Who else's gold black belt date is April 2021? Raise your hand. Nice. That is awesome. Okay. All right. Who else has a question for Miss Katie? Luca.
What year did you first start karate?
Oh man, 2003.
That was before I was even born.
I know,
Yes.
crazy, huh? My
All
my
right.
white
That's
belt
years
is so much
after
older
that.
than you.
I was born 10 years over. I was born 10 years after
Oh
that.
man.
All right, Rihanna, what is your question?
Good question, but I've been in CIT for a couple months now, and I've been CIT Miss Katie's class, and I'm always like wondering how like she just like gets up there and like, talks in front of them, but CIT has definitely helped with my confidence a lot, and I've always had fun helping with Miss Katie's class.
Good.
Yeah, I
good.
definitely
So-
love having you there, Miss Ree.
Yeah, and you're one of those people that we were talking about. You have been so active in CIT and you've been working really hard and setting such an example in karate. I'm sure you're going to be an instructor just like Miss Katie is one day pretty soon. All right, Harley, do you have a question for Miss Katie?
No, but I just want to tell her thank you for teaching us.
You're welcome, Harley and Corbin.
That was sweet, Harley. All right, Skylar, do you have a question? I like your future black belt water bottle too.
But I just made a connection with when she started karate. I was born 2013, so that would be like a
10
lot
years.
of mine.
That's awesome. All right, any other questions for Miss Katie? Is it a question for Miss Katie? If not, wait till after the star, after we do stars, okay? All right, I think I saw two. I think I saw Connor. You have one?
Well, I know that Miss Katie has like huskies and other dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a husky as well.
So cute.
All right, and Miss Barbara, did you have a question for Miss Katie?
Yes, ma'am. Miss
Okay.
Katie, how
Yes,
does
ma'am.
your heart condition affect with the sparring? Do you have to be extra careful with that?
So all I have to do is I have to wear a chest protector because my pacemaker is right here, and just have to be careful. Like as we practice, we are a no contact style, so just making sure that I don't get kicked too hard in the chest. And if I do, I have a self-check machine at home. I put this little thing up to my chest, sends a report to my doctor, and he can tell if there's anything wrong. So just being careful not get kicked in the chest. That's why we block.
Yeah, she's extra blocking. And I have a good
We also
story
have
of
a
exactly her amount of perseverance. We were at the last regional clinic, we had team sparring, and she gets out there and she's like, yeah, let's go. And I was her coach on this side, and she's out there. And I'm like, you know, in team sparring, there's a little bit more coaching and things like that. So the person she's sparring against, that she keeps going against, is making contact. And sometimes that happens, right?
Mhm.
And so it's, you know, if this was like a white belt, if Katie was like a white belt and went out there, she probably would have just stopped and been like, you're making contact, and kind of yell. And she just kept going, and she just kept blocking more. I had to yank her out of the ring and see somebody else spar, because I watched her get whacked in the chest sparring. She did.
Yeah.
And she just kept going. And she was like, and she like was getting points on points on points on this person, and just it doesn't stop. And that's awesome. And it really is. And she is careful, and she does protect herself, and she does block really well and things like that. But she, gosh, is such an example of that perseverance. It's awesome. Okay. Any other questions? Anything? All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Katie. Everybody go ahead and unmute yourself and say, come up, Samida, to Miss Katie.
Come on,
Thank you. Thank